Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Happy new comic book day, February 26th, 2025. Hope all you guys found all your books in your cubby, on the new comic book shop wall. However you guys get your books mailed to you, however you guys get your books, I hope you guys found all the books you're looking for this week. I know I did here in the loud, mysterious black bag. I got 3 books this week. I don't know if, at least for me guys, it was kind of a lighter week. As usual, plug myself. Come check me out on Whatnot. We got mystery boxes and getting ready to really start ramping things up. I've got 31 short boxes full of a bunch of fire. Give me a follow on Whatnot. Try to throw together like a better little ad, or you know what I'm saying, that shows kind of the books that are going to be in a show coming up, and see if we can't preview that on this show. On to the next show. I'm just spitballing here from that into another topic here. If you guys have any thoughts at all about things that you think could make the show reach a wider audience every week. I've been doing this crazily enough for almost 3 years now. And I think maybe I average about 50 to 100 views per video on the weekly comic series. And to be very honest with you guys, like, that's where my passion is. Like, I don't want to come on here and talk about the latest gossip news and drama news and things of that nature. And I know that that's what tracks really well, right? But that, I don't want to do that. And there's, because of what's going on right now, I'm not buying a lot of bigger books that it'd really be fun to share with you guys. And so you know what I mean? Like, this is how I can reach you guys, is with the new comic books that I'm buying that are coming out on a weekly basis. So long story short, if you guys have any thoughts as to how or if there's like a different way that I could approach kind of talking about the comics that you guys would prefer, let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on my Instagram, links to which are below. Let's go ahead and get dived into the loud, mysterious black bag this week. Starting off in my number 3 spot, as usual, I have all the books listed from least favorite to favorite. Got 3 books this week. In my number 3 spot, I have Amazing Spider-Man 68 Deaths. And this kind of was more of an X-Men story, like no spoilers, but Juggernaut plays a pretty big role in the narrative through line of this story. And that being said, I kind of enjoyed it as a issue of the X-Men. It is not it's continuing what's going on in Amazing Spider-Man, so sure. But I could see why they wanted to not exactly have this one be like a number, but be this, one of these weird dot numbering systems that they have. Because it's not quite an Amazing Spider-Man comic. It's a little bit more of an X-Men comic, and the X-Men crossing over into this particular Spider-Man storyline. And so that being said, we didn't really further what's going on with Peter's narrative. We kind of just tied up some loose ends here and set things for the final, I think it's 2 more issues. Anyways, it was alright. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was kind of there. It was fun. As a Juggernaut story, it was actually a little bit fun, you know what I mean? And so that's why I give it the nod. Like, it probably does lean a little bit more towards recommend on that one. So in my number 2 spot, I've got X-Men number 12. Really cool cover here too. I kind of like the whiteout in the back that's going on there, and you get the X-Men with some Alpha Flight characters. And though I hadn't read last year's Alpha Flight mini-series, I do feel like that this kind of brought me up to speed as to where Alpha Flight were, and played some beats that I don't know if they got played out in that Alpha Flight title. I'm assuming not. That kind of further that story as far as to where Alpha Flight is and what's happening with them. And I actually found that pretty interesting. Like, that's a story with a lot of meat on its bones, and you know, much as I chagrin about adding a new title, I'd almost, if that's like your pitch for a Alpha Flight title, it was pretty good. Anyways, that being said, like, that whole part of the story, like, I dug it, and that was kind of a major part of it, along with like this fight that's going on, and as usual with this Jed McKay run, it's just kind of lots of action every issue. You get to see your characters kind of thinking on their feet and using their super mutant powers to really kind of fight the foes and the bad guys and you know, save the day. So, you know, and that's, I don't know, that's a great story to tell. You don't want them to see them losing all the time. And in my number one spot, I've got Detective Comics 1054. This is the Tom Taylor run, just starting, and it is starting strong. This is a really good read. There is detective work happening, and, you know, Bruce is solving this case, and I think maybe at this point he's kind of got it figured out, but he doesn't like the answer, and that's even more interesting. That is Bruce at this point, like, kind of tailing the, and this isn't a spoiler, this is, you know, you'll only understand this if you read it, and if not, you're just going to be curious and still waiting to read the issue to be like, what was he talking about? But is Bruce kind of like, has he already figured this out? And is he sort of biding his time before he eventually, because maybe there's a reason for him to not want this figured out so quickly. And yeah, man, that's a really interesting place for us to be. And you know, obviously, you know, he's gonna get to the bottom of it, and he's gonna find out. And I feel like at this point he's sort of hoping that what he thinks is the reality, which is most likely what the reality is, isn't, and that there's some other, you know, means at play. And that's all I'll say without spoiling anything. And that kind of says enough for you to, you know, it's a really kind of a good story that's being woven, and we've been set up. I think that for me there was a little bit of a questioning in the first issue but now that we're here where we are, I see why we needed that to get here and to make here all the more interesting. And so, yeah, I had a lot of fun with Batman this week. A lot of fun with X-Men. Spider-Man is, I don't know, it's okay. You know, I'd lean towards recommend, but it's not the greatest book that I've ever read. That's what I have today, guys. Click the links below. Check me out on whatnot. Answer my question in the comments below. How do you think we could make these shows more fun so that we can reach more people every week? Alright, guys. That's what I have. We'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.